Yeah, 524. Awake with Jake. We got a text in at 68683. Says, this is 815, says, Jake, you're an abomination to talk radio and to common decency. And that's why we love you. And you'll listen to you every Friday night. Cheers. I think the guy on the expressway had too many cheers. I'm just guessing. If I only could have got him and told him to put his lights on, maybe he'd still be alive today. Oh, let's go Rossville. Rick, good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you, Jake?
What's up?
Are you sure it wasn't Paul Bryant in that car?
No, Paul's still sleeping. Paul sleeps in on Saturdays.
Oh, okay. Now, hey, I know exactly what you're talking about. Last winter, out where I live, Route 1 or Western Avenue, however you want to call it, Dixie Highway. But anyway, this was during the winter, so you should be kind of lucky that you didn't have ice and snow to deal with it, because who knows what could have happened with that. But we were going down Route 1, and I was going, what I thought what the speed should have been, because, it was snowing like crazy. And this brunette lady, and there's a reason why I knew she was brunette, because she decides she's going to try to overpass me. And when she right about gets even with me, all of a sudden I could see her car kind of start shimmying and all that, and then she takes off into the left lane and into the ditch, and I thought, geez, hey, I'm clear of this, thank God. Well, she continues, and she gets up out of it. And this is how I knew she was a brunette lady, because her car spun around in front of me, and now my headlights are right on the side of the driver's side car. And I could see her brunette hair, and I thought, now I'm going to clip her with the right front of my van, and she went into another ditch, and we didn't even touch, and I don't even know how. It was absolutely crazy, and that's what usually happens out here a lot, because the people like out on I-57 after it snows, they seem to think they could still do 95 and a 55.
Yeah, it is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And then I had one other incident and then we had to deal with winter. It was about 1:30 in the morning. It was a guy at an intersection. He needed to jump. His car stalled out, so I went and I turned my car around, put the jumper cables on, and after going back and forth a couple of times to adjust the jumper cables, this last time that I went through it, he got rear-ended by a guy. I got thrown into a snowdrift, and his car went into my car. Totally, it wasn't my car. It was my father's car at the time. And I was lucky that it just, a few seconds before, I would have just got me right in between, my waist on down.
You never know when the end is coming, Rick.
No, you know what? I didn't see any flash before my eyes on that one. All I saw was a bunch of snow.
Oh, see, my life flashed in front of my eyes. It, like I said, it was not a good thing. It was not a good thing.
Well, maybe what will happen now is that you'll get 3 hours to be on WO.
No, I don't. I'm rethinking the whole deal. I would have been safer in bed. Thanks, Rick.
All right, see you later, Jake.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That also went through. There was a real split second on that. I'm thinking, I could be in bed right now. And my wife is sleeping. It's perfect. It's great. And here I am. I got some idiot just doing circles in front of me. Whatever he was doing. Peggy on the north side, welcome to WOS.
Hey, Jake. I knew this was going to be strange when we had the ginger ale, was it their little jingle?
Yeah.
And I thought, is this real? Is this not real? And then, you told about what happened to you, and I thought, it's not real. He's kidding, of course. I do want to know. I haven't driven a car in a long time. Haven't had a license.
Well, that doesn't stop people from driving cars, not having a license. Not in Illinois.
But I just, I thought truck drivers were the best drivers in the country.
Well, truck drivers are. This guy, when I said he had like a truck, it wasn't like a real. It was one of those passenger deals, like a pickup truck where they enclose the back.
So this was really a regular person.
Yeah, it was a regular person. Yeah, it wasn't a commercial truck. No, not at all. That's what. But there was a semi next to us, though.
Oh God, he must have been doing backflips. But what I wanted to ask you was, do you think drivers are better or worse or about the same?
No, I think they're worse.
Why?
They go faster. They're in a hurry. They're distracted. They play with their phones while they're driving. And I'm not just talking. Yeah, I'm not just talking. I'm not saying this guy was doing that, but not just making a call. But you have people that are doing the texting, and they're looking for directions, and they're looking for some restaurant that's open at 3:00 in the morning. They're doing all kind of stuff.
So it's like, it's not what it was back in the 60s or the 70s. Things have changed dramatically.
You didn't have a CD player in your car in the 70s or 80s. You didn't have that. 6-disc changer. You didn't have any of that.
So, would you say it's between the cell phone or
and the navigation systems people have? Yeah, that's all. It's changed. It's changed, Peggy. It's changed.
So it's like, would you say the last 10 years have been the biggest change, or maybe the last 20 years have been the biggest change?
You know what? Things have changed. I'm like a lobster in a pot. I started out in cold water, and it's getting hotter, and I don't even realize it.
Well, I don't know. I think you realized it today. I mean, when you were just kind of like driving it progressively and going. This.
You know what? If I had been driving aggressively and in the third lane and speeding, I would have missed all that. I was in the right lane. That's where I was.
I was doing the right thing, and this was all happening in front of you.
Yeah, God punishes people doing the right thing. Thank you, Peggy.
Not at all. Okay, bye.
Anyway, we'll get back to a lot of things, plus whatever's on your mind, because that's what we do on Saturday morning. Here, we get you up with a smile. It's 5:31, back after this.
Jake Hartford is on 890 AM WLS. Get constantly updated news. See what we're talking about. Listen live and check out the latest photo galleries. It's all just a click away at WLSAM.com. Jake Hartford is on 890 AM WLS.
.535, Awake with Jake. I'm Jake Hartford right here in WLS. We played at the opening of the show. We played this Canada Dry commercial from the 70s, and because one of the persons in there, it's his birthday today, although he's dead. In fact, all three people are dead. And I was asking the staff here if they had any idea who it was, and whoever labeled the tape put Don Wade. So the one person said, "Well, yeah, I know one of them is Don Wade because it says that," and it's not Don Wade. Patrick, play the spot again.
It's not too sweet. It's dry, it's crisp, it's neat. Canada Dry Ginger Ale, it's not too sweet.
It's not too sweet. I repeat, it's not too sweet. Canada Dry cools your thirst. It's a taste that can't be beat.
It's not too sweet. It's a light, refreshing treat. Canada Dry Ginger Ale, it's not too sweet.
All right, we don't.
It's the dry soft drink that's not.
I don't need to hear this part. Now, I gave him clues. I said the first one played Jake in a movie called Support Your Local Sheriff. The second guy started a movie, and when they did the remake a couple years ago, Sean Penn played that same part. And then the third guy had a huge career in movies and TV and music, but played, in the Rockford Files, played the part of Gandalf Fitch. Now that should be easy. That should be simple. But apparently it's too simple. Tony in Barkley. Good morning, Tony.
What's up? How you doing, man?
What's up?
I'm on my way to work as we're speaking right now, anyway. But I work for a private garbage company, and my route is in the city. So I'm doing about 30 miles an hour. I come to an intersection, and light flash between my eyes. I see an ambulance coming in the opposite lane, coming towards me out of the right. No lights, no siren. As soon as I cleared the intersection, all you hear was crash, bang, boom, and a cloud of smoke. I'm thinking to myself, man, I had the green light, and what's going on here? Come to find out, the ambulance was stolen from a mental patient trying to get away from somewhere. But at the time, I'm just thinking I'm going 30 miles an hour in a garbage truck. There's no way for me to stop and meet head on another car coming from the opposite way. And I'm like, man, I was like, man, did I just go through a red light or something? Because I swear I had the green, and man, there's just like just everything just went through your mind at one moment.
Wow. So it was a mental guy. That's why he had no light. That's why civilians should not steal ambulances, because they don't know the rules that you're supposed to have the lights and sirens going.
Well, sometimes I see other ambulance companies coming down with no lights and no sirens, but they have the siren but no lights. And people are like, wondering where this guy is. He's right behind him. But, you know, I don't know. It was just weird, man. I just thought, man, this is the end of my career or something like this.
That's not the way you want to end.
No, but it wasn't my fault. So I was all good. I pulled over and made sure everybody else was all right, make sure it wasn't my fault. And all of a sudden I see about 5 or 6 police cars coming in. About 2 minutes later, they were following this guy, but he did some major damage to the other people.
But, you know, when you die in a crash, even if it's not your fault, you're still dead.
Yeah, you're right. You got a point there.
Yeah. But you're okay.
I'm okay, and the other people survived, because there were children in the other cars. But like I said, as soon as I cleared that intersection, the other cars took it. But if I was thinking if the cars were right alongside of me, I would have took like the hit for the accident, to the other people from getting hurt and things like that. But it was just man, I never seen an accident happen like that in real time, and it was just spooky, man.
Well, it was spooky this morning for me. Thank you, Tony.
Later.
It was. I've seen accidents. I've seen a lot of stuff. But man, it was just right there. Tom in South Holland. Good morning, Tom.
Morning, Jake. How you doing today?
Well, how am I doing?
How you doing? Hey, you're alive. You're well. You're looking up, and you don't see any grass roots or worm butts, so it's a good day.
Yeah. Well.
Hey, Jake. One of them's Jack Elam.
Yeah, you were right. The first guy, Jack Elam. Now, did you know that, or did you know it from the clue?
I knew the voice, and I couldn't put it together until you gave me the clue, because there was a funny story about Jack Elam, okay? He was a character actor, not a star, yet he was as famous as, even more famous, some stars who rose up and went back down again. So they were asking him about his life one day, the commentator was, and he says, Jack, he says, somebody once said that the 4 stages of a character actor's life are, who's Jack Elam? Get me Jack Elam. Get me a young Jack Elam. Who's Jack Elam? What do you say about that? Jack says, I don't give a darn whether it's true or not. He says, I just want him to keep using my name for it.
Well, you know, that's the kind of where I'm at right now.
And you know about that driving? I told you about aggressive driving.
Yeah.
Back in the 60s, we even had ours. We're going down to Willow Slough hunting down Route 41, south in Indiana. And we're doing 55 miles an hour. And, I mean, this guy passed us. We thought that it was like a rocket, the way he passed us, and he was weaving. And as he passes 4 of us in a car, one guy says, he flipped us off. I said, what? He was like, yeah, he passed by, he flipped us off. Okay, so what? So we're going down the road. 10 miles down the road, we see some lights off to the right-hand side. It looked very weird the way the lights were. And as we go slower and slower and slower, there's a car in the cornfield about 40, 50 feet into the cornfield with the lights on. And so we're going to stop and get out and see what we can do. It's the same guy. You talk about poetic justice.
Did you flip him off?
No, he waves. We stopped. He's out there waving, going, hey, hey. All 4 of us got out of the car. We went, hey, hey. Got back in the car and drove off.
See, there you go.
Talking 3:30 in the morning, so there wasn't too many more people coming down that road.
I'm proud of you, Tom. I knew there was a reason I liked you.
What goes around comes around, Jake.
Thanks, Tom.
You're welcome.
Let's go to Robert in Athens. Good morning, Robert.
Hey, I thought it was Jack Palance in that commercial, but apparently not.
Jack Palance did one of those, but now this one was, the first guy was Jake Elam. The second one was Broderick Crawford. The third was Isaac Hayes.
Okay, really? Yeah. Oh, he's also dead now.
Yeah, they're all 3 of them, yeah. Isaac Hayes died a couple years ago.
Also, I want to ask you about the San Francisco banning the Happy Meal.
I'm very, very disappointed about that. The mayor out there vetoed it, but the supervisors have enough votes, because I think they had 8 votes when they passed it. If they wish to override his veto, if the 8 stay with that, they'll override it, and that'll go into law next year. I think that's a bad thing.
It's totally ridiculous, though. I mean, if you don't want your kids to eat horribly, don't bring the food in the house.
Well,
does it need to be a law?
What the law is, it mandates that there be at least a half a cup of fruit and 3/4 of a cup of vegetables in there. Think about that. That's not a Happy Meal. If you're a kid, are you happy?
No, I wouldn't be happy at all. I'd want my Fraggle Rock toy and the box with the golden arches and digging into the French fries.
And here's the other thing. If they're saying that the food there is bad for kids, the French fries are bad and the hamburgers are bad, then, okay, you take away the toy, and if the kids are going to still eat the hamburgers and the French fries, well, then it's still bad for kids. Why don't they just ban the food, if that's what they're getting to?
Yeah, it's totally ridiculous. Well, at Subway, their Happy Meal is it's like a bag. It's like a nylon bag that has Michael Phelps, who's a great role model for children and others. But it's just like this nylon bag. And there's no incentive. And, even at Subway, you can add bacon and mayonnaise and such to your sub.
You know what? Nobody's telling people, you have to go to McDonald's every day and eat McDonald's. Nobody says that. If you take your kids there once a month or twice a month, and that's what they get, is that going to kill the kids?
They'll live. Yeah, no, that's totally fine. I mean, I grew up in the era of McDonald's, and my mother took me there once in a while, but, I used to, want to go to McDonald's, etc., and wine, and it was she'd say, hey, we're going to McMom's because we're going to go have grilled cheese sandwiches at home.
Well, my problem is McDonald's is a fast food place. It's not a restaurant. They've turned it into a restaurant. And if you go there, when McDonald's first started, they were hamburgers and French fries and soft drinks and milkshakes. I think that was it.
Yeah, well, and the portions were different, too. A small drink was a small drink. Everybody just had a small soft drink, and then they were done with it.
Yeah, my wife told me yesterday there's some place, some chain, she was reading in the paper that they can do soft drinks, Coke, or whatever it is, like 1,000 different varieties or something. You can mix different things. I don't know. I'm a simple person. I just like something simple.
Yeah, it's up to you, and it should be, left to parenting. It shouldn't be, to law. And living in, the deep south where people don't have taste buds. People just fry greasy onion rings and just shove them. But that's up to you.
Yeah, and the other thing, fast food being fast food, is you don't want to have to wait in line for somebody because, well, what kind of vegetables do you want with that? Do you want the carrots? You want the celery? And your fruit? Do you want the apple slice? You want the peach? And, at some point it ceases to become fast food.
Right. Well, what happened to cooking at home? Fast food should be fast food. It's we don't have time to get from point A to point B. Let's just grab some fast food.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a meal replacement.
All right. Thank you, Robert.
All right. Thank you.
The mayor of San Francisco is against this ban on the Happy Meals and then putting in the vegetables in the fruit. However, they do some things in San Francisco that I would like to see here in Chicago. Now, there's a lot of people running for the mayor of Chicago, a whole bunch of them. The first person who's running for mayor of Chicago who pledges to do this in Chicago will get my vote. Well, I can't really vote. Yes, I could vote. I don't even live in Chicago, but I can still vote in Chicago. There's a way to do that. Anyway, here's what they do in San Francisco. On select Sundays, they close off some city streets for hula hooping. Wouldn't you like to see that in Chicago? In all the different neighborhoods of Chicago, there'd be streets just closed off and people just hula hooping. Huh? Rahm Emanuel, you want my vote? Pledge that. 591-8900 is the phone number. 547 back after this.
You're listening to Jake Hartford, 890 AM WLS.